Well, well, well. Looks to be a chat going on. Who dare show their faces in chat on this day? We've got Dr. Ogre. Well, hello, Dr. Ogre.
On this
I'm not
mutinous
familiar
of
with-
Mondays.
What was that?
On this mutinous of Mondays.
Yeah, exactly. Very mutinous. Let's see. We've also got, of course, Devious is here. Nate, good to see you, friend. Non sequitur Nate, holding down the fort. Raymond Steckman's playing the Jeopardy music. Yes, you didn't have to wait too long. We're not that late. In some cases, in some measures, we're early.
By our standards, we're practically early.
Exactly. Duke, good to see you always. RC, my friend, I was just thinking about you today. Better reach out and see how you're doing. Just to connect. Cloud, good to see you as well. SC Pilot's here. Good to see everybody. David Bollock, of course. You know who else is here? Is it you guys? Are you here? Where are you?
I don't know. Are we?
I'm not sure what's going on. I can't find your faces.
Troy, it's dark.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
How are you?
Doing all right.
Alex, you seem to be real quiet.
Present and accounted for. Nope.
You're muted, maybe?
Maybe.
I'm alive and I'm muted.
Okay, good. Truth. Look at this. Okay, so all right, here's what we're gonna do, and you can hear me. Good, Apuk. Good to see you. A good mumamo unto thee. We of course just sailing in by the skin of our teeth today, courtesy of Adobe.
Mm-hmm.
That anytime we're late, we
blame Adobe.
Yeah, we blame Adobe. It's their commercial. We do that for them. They're not even a sponsor. They're a sponsor of our frustration. But
today's crash out brought to you by Adobe.
Brought to you by Adobe. Yeah.
Exactly. The overflow of cortisol in your brain, courtesy of Adobe. But enough of that, because today on Mumamo, we are talking about, we're actually talking about the chat.
Mm-hmm.
We are bringing it to the chat. We are getting ready for some conflict. Right? We're gonna fist fight.
Yeah.
No, we're not. We're not gonna be fist fighting anybody.
We're all about the love.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been volunteered to fist fight, so I guess I have to.
That is the way it works when the community.
It would be impolite if I didn't.
That's true, but only for people in the Cape and Cal Club. That'll be the. That'll be
this month's reward.
That's right. Yes, exactly. Watch Alex fist fight somebody. No, I mean, like as
Reward
Steve said,
I
don't know. I wouldn't enjoy it.
Right.
As much as I might deserve it. But we are doing a character creation challenge, and here's what I'm asking the chat right now. Fisty. Oh yes, I don't know why Kiltman. That just looks like a foul word, but it's not.
Right.
But it looks like it is. Can any of you joust? Well, there's a good question.
I can't even ride a horse.
Can you even? You can't even ride a horse. Yeah, I mean, can you joust without a horse?
Yeah, it isn't recommended.
No, I don't think. Yeah, I think that is. That's yeah.
In my time, I have probably participated in a shopping cart joust.
They are.
Oh, sure. Classic. Growing up in the suburbs activities.
Yep.
So how about this, friends? What we're doing, we are creating characters. We are challenging our two devs to make something out of the mess that you're going to create for them.
Just another day at work.
Let's see. So here's what I'd like you to think about, chat. I'd like you to think about a scenario where a particular set of skills is required. Share what those skills are, and then we will begin to craft. You want to go hero or villain first, guys?
I want to make a villain first.
Okay.
All right. Alex is in a villainous mood.
Let's see so far, and I'm just going to start pulling random stuff out from the chat. And so, Nate Robbins says that he will be your horse.
Well, that's
All right.
nice.
That's a kind offer.
It's really sweet. Yeah. I'm not even going to chase that thought down to its conclusion. I'm going to say, Pook says it's been a while since I've ridden an ostrich. Okay. The joust. I think let's start with the joust. Like, so a villain who is a jouster
Mm-hmm.
riding an ostrich, isn't there a video game?
Yes, that would be the video game Joust.
Yes.
Well, here we are. Let's recreate the wheel. Love it. Skill set: for-profit archaeologist and adventurer. Okay. All right. I like the sound of
jousts.
that. Magical animated gummy.
There you go.
All right, that's one. Nate Tar. Ugh. Thanks, Michael. Get out of my head. You won't like it there. King Snarf. Villain challenge. Design an arch nemesis for a superpowered Adelaide Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
Adelaide, who's that?
Adelaide Stevenson, the politician.
Yeah. I'm afraid I don't know anything about politics anymore.
No, not you.
Not me. Sir Ostrich. I think we're kind of stuck with the ostrich notion.
We seem to be.
Yeah. Half Nate, half ostrich mount for a villain. Which
Sir
half?
Ostrich.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
the
I'm
right
gonna
half?
say which half is which.
Yeah. And I only ask because one half is going to be a noisy. Well, I would presume one is noisier
I
than
hope
the
it's Nate's body and a long ostrich neck that ends in Nate's head.
That's what it is now. Yeah. So speaking, and it shall be true, gentlemen. We've got ostrich. We've got Nate Tower / ostrich Nate. We've got a for-profit archaeologist and adventurer. Make with that a villain, won't you? First of all, what are the powers of an ostrich? Just kick your head off, right?
Well, they run and they kick, basically, and they squawk
They're
really
really
loud.
good at ignoring their problems.
That's true. They stick their heads in the sand.
They do.
Yes.
What kind of power comes along with like sticking your head in the sand?
Well, that depends on how you want to interpret it, of course.
Yes, true.
So for our ostrich jouster, we can take a couple of things, to spin off with. One is that they're relatively fast. I mean, not super speedster fast, but they could be. But they run pretty fast, and they obviously, if jousting is a thing, they definitely specialize in using their sort of charge and slam attacks to charge at their opponents and hit them and do damage and knock them down. Whether or not they're carrying a lance, or some other sort of weapon to do that.
Okay.
So this is definitely a character we'd want to take, a good look at the charging and slam attack rules to sort of optimize the character for that.
Okay.
Because they're not, I mean, they probably have some ranks in speed, but probably not a lot unless they're a really, really super fast ostrich. So they're probably not going to gain a huge benefit from the slam attacks because they're not moving really fast. That's the big thing that gives you that damage boost.
Well, here's a quick question. Is the ostrich the mount of the villain, or is the ostrich the villain?
I'm working on the notion that we're going with an ostrich-like villain who's got like a human like upper body and an ostrich lower body.
That's just horrifying,
right? It is pretty terrible.
Hear me out. Let's just stat up the Liberty Mutual duo,
right? and the terrible scientific accident that merged them into one being.
Right. There is a couple of suggestions. Someone does suggest that there be some kind of a lady ostrich by the name of what did the name here. Sorry, I've lost it in all this nonsense in the chat. It's just a mess.
SC Pilot is mentioning a lizard woman, Jouster, who rides an ostrich.
Yes, yeah, and then there's an Lady E Mew from Kiltman. So I throw that out there for you just to add to the canvas, to the palette from which you are painting.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that we're getting chat from all angles. I love it. Okay, so yeah. So charging and slam attack rolls, ranks and speed, not many.
We're probably going to want to think about, because the speed boost to their charge slam attack is not going to be big. Of maybe the villain gets some limited damage ranks. They have some extra bonus damage when they charge or when they do a slam attack that is still within their power level, but is enough to make them a more formidable attack when they do their main trick.
Is the slam attack the manifestation of their kick?
That could be. It's probably. I'm thinking of it more as the sort of the jousting thing where you rush straight at someone, and hit them with a lance. But they could also have a kick attack, which is definitely a useful secondary attack, so far as that goes.
Yeah. Kick attack. I'm making notes here as well, just so we can be sure to. Queen Struthio. I need to not read this stuff out loud before I read it.
You really do. You really need to in your head first, Troy, and out loud.
Let's see, reading, and then I say, link a stunning affliction to their slam.
Yep, you could definitely do that.
Ooh.
Nate, is that like a Struthiomimus? Are we talking like a dinosaur ostrich?
Now you're speaking language. Hey, Meredith. Stunning affliction. So talk to me about the stunning affliction.
Well, basically, you could do an affliction effect and have it linked to the character's damage attack, or you could have it as a separate effect, depending on how you want to do it. But basically, it would be the classic dazed, stunned, incapacitated affliction, depending on how severe the resistance check is. And you can link it with the damage, so that even if they don't do a lot of damage, they may still stun or daze the target, which can be significant.
Now, do they get anything as a result of their horrifying appearance?
They could,
Yeah, that could manifest as the startle advantage or enhanced trait intimidation.
What do we think in this case? Because I'm terrified, and I only see it in my mind's eye.
Well, I think I don't know that they are inherently scary, other than what we know about them. I don't think they intend to be scary when they attack you.
Well, but in this case, we've got a human hybrid, right? Is that
that's
hybrid?
Pretty scary?
That's pretty gross. Yeah.
Well, and you could definitely look to set up something that is basically allows the villain to set a target up for an attack, where they can use an advantage like startle or something like that to try and make a character vulnerable, so that then their next thing is that they can launch their big attack. That creates the tactical option of making it a power attack. For example, if you lower the target's defenses, you can afford to take a penalty to attack them to jack up your damage, and that may be part of their big, sort of charging attack.
Got it. I'm making a note.
I do like. I saw a while back that Apuk talked about the whole head in the sand thing could be kind of the projective illusion. I can't see you, and therefore you can't see me. Trick. Which would be an interesting sort of disadvantage to the villain's power, if they had a particular thing where literally if they can't see you, you can't see them. So they can become invisible, but at the same time, they're effectively blinded by it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I like that. The other thing I was thinking as well is that the that it can be a trick, a kind of rope-a-dope to
Mhm.
put your head in the sand and wait for someone to come, and you can maybe sense the vibrations in the ground or something with your
Yep.
human head. What part is which now again? I'm, I'm getting confused about
It's all
how this.
upsetting. We're definitely putting this character in armor.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, just for the sake of it, right? Let's see. This trick reminds me of the Invisible Boy. I do like that as a power and a
Mhm.
complication. I think that's
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah. There have been a lot of more realistic treatments of invisibility because obviously, if you become transparent to light, it can't hit your eyes, and that means you basically can't see things. So, realistically, characters who become invisible shouldn't be able to see.
Now, is there some special sort of thing we have to consider with that? If I can't see you, you can't see me. Kind of. It seems like it will depend heavily on some role play as well.
Yeah, it'll depend very
Mhm.
heavily on how the players describe what their characters are doing, and how the GM thinks that this character deals with that particular limitation.
I like that a lot. It's very funny. Yeah, so then would that mean that they could instantly become invisible do they have to put their head in the sand to do that, or
Well,
can they?
it might be metaphorical, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. An armored
It'd be
lizard
really
woman.
funny if they did have to actually do that, though.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, and now how does jousting fit into all of this?
Hey, I'm not the one who suggested jousting.
That's right. That is very true.
That's the slam attack portion of it,
Yeah.
where its
Okay,
primary
okay.
attack is to run into you and knock you over.
Yep.
Got it. And so then is
Yes.
it holding a lance in it under its wing or
Well, it
this?
has arms,
Yeah, his arms. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
his
think beak
face
forward. Just
right?
neck
Or
straight
that.
out,
feet
beak
forward.
forward.
I like that.
Sure. Entering the
The
room, beak first.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Right. And then somehow it looks like Nate in some way, either right or left
Apparently.
or top or bottom. Yeah. SC pilots, you are speaking for all of us.
Yes.
Confused and a little frightened. Uh, I like how Troy isn't touching the Wanderer's Aviax sidebar. Yeah, what is that?
I don't understand that
I
sidebar.
don't know.
Yeah, I've not seen it. They're also a good debater. The jousting is verbal.
Ah, sure. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. All right. So what
A
else do we need?
rapier wit to go with everything else.
Exactly. Exactly. So what else do we need to do with this villain to kind of flesh them out a little bit? I
Well,
mean,
right now, all we really have are the abilities of this ostrich monster, which
and a
without a
vague shape.
motivation or a personality is just this is an
Mhm.
environmental hazard, not a villain.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's
Indeed.
flesh it out then. I like that. What else do we need to? We need to kind of figure out the background.
So
Right.
I know it's not an ostrich per se, but the last veteran of the Australian Emu War would be an amazing character.
There you go.
All right. I like it.
Just a
So
grumpy old bird who got shot at by machine guns by humans and has now come to the human land to make it everybody else's problem.
right. There you
I
go.
like. Now you said the last veteran of the.
The Australian
Emu War.
Emu Wars. The Great
Yeah, of
Emu
course.
War.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
You know.
The monument they have to that is quite breathtaking. The veteran of the Australian Emu War.
The fact that humanity lost that war is the best part.
Right.
Right, right. And so now this cranky old bird travels the land looking for trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It does have a little bit of a kung fu
Has
vibe, doesn't
has
it?
a has a chip on its feathered shoulder.
Yes, I like that. The FU emu.
Right.
That's good. I like that. AVX was an avian shape changer in the 30th century team, the Wanderers. He shape
Mhm.
changed into a proto dinosaur to jumpstart evolution. And oh, right, this is the DC conversation. Yes, that's right.
Yes.
No, I was ignoring that actually. Yeah, but leave it to me.
Again, Troy, in your head first.
I know, right? All right, so we have FU emu. Is are we going to strip away some of the elements of tarism, Nate tarism? Uh,
hmm
we're going to stick to like just kind of a
It
smart.
sounds like Alex is preferring something that's a little bit more of a sort of pure bird.
Yeah, with some intelligence. Yeah,
hmm
Alex.
Yeah, I just
Yes.
think
Yeah,
it
it's
learned
just,
violence from us, and it's trying to teach us the lesson.
Mm.
okay. And so then it's basically wandering the land,
Challenging people to fights.
right?
That's the most ostrich thing I could think of.
Yeah,
Right?
they are kind of nasty. I don't know if you've ever seen
Yep.
them. But yeah, who would ever keep those birds? I do not know, but they always have a bite mark and
Right?
they're always chasing or being chased by a hissing giant bird.
hmm Exactly.
Let's see.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, go for it,
the
please.
the main challenge with this bad guy, apart from getting your players to stop laughing, um, is uh, basically what do you do to make this uh, particularly aggressive and violent ostrich or emu a challenge to a group of superheroes?
Yeah, something with eggs.
You know, well, there are a number of different ways you can go about it.
Yeah,
You can, because it's mutants and masterminds, you can make this a power level 11 emu if you want, and give it super strength and make it unbelievably tough, and have the heroes get really worried. Um, but you could also come up with other in-game reasons why the heroes need to be more circumspect, and maybe just not simply punch the emu in the face the first time it gives them attitude.
right.
And that's a game master challenge to consider.
Mhm.
How you're going to set this scene up and how the heroes are going to react. And if it's about them trying to calm the emu and get it to give up its violent ways, then obviously violence is probably not going to be their go-to, so far as that goes. And that's taking a different approach and basically making this a different kind of challenge.
Right. Right. Yeah, there's some interesting takes here. Some folks are talking about that there's some time travel involved or alternate universe. Claude mentions here. I say keep him low level feels like a hero high villain of the week. Yeah.
Sure. And that would definitely be a story for a group of teen heroes dealing with this.
It's
And
just the emu breaks into the zoo and tries to lead a mutiny of the other ones, but they're not as smart as him.
oh, I like that. I
Mhm.
like that. So he's constantly, yeah. So he's causing some real grief, and I guess a whole host of emu can be a real irritation. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, especially because the zoo probably doesn't want you to just murder all their birds. So you have to find some nonviolent way to
Mhm.
contain the stampede and stop the revolutionary one.
Because
Right.
ultimately they're not necessarily bad. They're just kind of dumb.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for
You want to.
ours, who is bad.
Or at least kind of mad.
Yeah.
Right. Or he's the first in a long line of bird baddies.
Right.
Oh, I see. So he's coming back. He's the first, or he's the next.
Well, that's if you want to do a whole series of bird themed or literal bird,
Oh, yeah.
opponents.
I see. Let's see. Temple mentions there's a swan from, excuse me, from Hot Fuzz that stopped one bad guy from driving away by pecking him from the back seat. Okay,
Mhm.
there we go.
Swans are very violent birds.
They're
Mhm.
nasty birds too. I do remember a friend saying, no, they're so beautiful and nice with a
Mm-mm.
handful of bread and that
They
they
will
came up.
mess you up.
bit his
Yep.
finger and he ran, and I think it was just so that he could bite him in the butt about 50 times as he
Mhm.
was. It was funny to watch, but ultimately painful for him.
Right.
Yeah. Hero idea. Let's put a pin in that, SC Pilot. We will talk about that after. I do like that, actually. It's a great idea. But what else are we missing with this emu, last veteran of the Australia Emu War?
Alex, what are we missing?
We have a motivation. We have a caper it can be a part of. We've got powers. I think we're good.
Yeah, I'd say
All
so
right.
too. I think, in fact, it's important to note that although you can, provide a lot of detail. For example, we haven't talked about what the emu's skills are,
Truth. Yeah.
because frankly, unless we're talking about interaction as part of the challenge of the adventure, for example, it doesn't matter. So
Right.
if you decide you really want to figure out, what all the emu's skills are, by all means do that. But for a lot of threats or villains or challenges in an M&M adventure, you don't need to go into all of that detail if it's not important.
I like that. It also leaves a little room for you to kind of check and see how people are reacting to it, and maybe add, something that they're expecting that you didn't realize that they'd want to see, or that it's a
Yes.
fun layer of intrigue or something. But this is interesting. I do like this idea that they're disgruntled that they can't fly, that there being
Sure.
some measure of, maybe they're looking for
Hmm.
a way to do that. I do like the gathering up their brethren to, maybe create a one giant flying,
Hmm.
bird thing.
Sure.
Let's see. Paul says, give them the hardened mind of a military veteran with tactical awareness, and he could even have started using the weapons of the enemy. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's where you start getting into an emu who somehow uses guns and
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. I do want to see what that would look like because
or
they don't have
drives a tank.
arms.
We're swerving into Velocipaster territory.
Right, we definitely are.
That's right. Okay. So anything else we want to, hey, Squire, good to see you, friend. Glad you're here. Do we need to add any more texture to this? Have we brought this villain to life? You feel
I
like
think so. It
all right.
seems pretty vivid to me.
It does.
Yeah,
It
at least
does.
until it makes contact with the players, then we'll
Uh-huh.
find out.
That's right. That's when the real
Yeah.
refinement comes. But no, it does leave a sort of impression on one's brain, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does.
Well, speaking of leaving an impression, I think it is time for us to get some other suggestions. Now, there's somebody bounced out an idea about. I just dropped my D20 on the floor. It rolled well under my desk.
She
Someone,
gone.
we have, it was a suggestion about a performer. I bet it was like a female, uh, like a tigress kind of character, which
Mhm.
I think is kind of fun.
Sure.
Whomever did that, redo it, post it again,
That
won't
was
you?
SC Pilot.
That's
Yep.
right. You see it?
Yep. I mean,
It's
from birds to cats is
Here we
a
go.
natural progression.
It seems like a pretty easy jump. A hero for this one?
Probably. I mean, she
yeah.
could be potentially villainous, but
I do like that she's a pop star, so she could be potentially, maybe
Mhm.
a little full of herself, a little,
Sure.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Tigress
Are we
Swift.
Yep.
Oh boy. Yeah, I guess that's where we're at. I mean,
Yep.
you say
Pretty
it, it's
much.
canon. Are we looking at sort of a dazzler that's furry
Kind of.
without all the lights? What's is her power, friends in chat? Is her power just a jungle tiger lady who's just arrived from deep
Mhm.
within the Congo, and she's also a pop star,
Mhm.
a
Right.
fur covered cat suit. Okay,
Okay. So maybe she's not actually a tiger person,
got it,
or she
got it.
could be.
She could be, yeah. So, are we banking on now? Is she's a tiger, or is she like a panther, or is she a?
Well, it says tigress in the
That's true.
idea,
That is very true.
so but it could be another kind of cat girl type.
A
Uh,
ligress,
so
perhaps.
far as that a ligress, yes.
The Fuzzler.
A pantheress? What is a panther lady?
Mm,
A pantherette. No, that doesn't seem right.
right.
A jaguaress?
All right. So SC Pilot says she has tiger powers.
Okay,
So
tiger powers. All right, fair enough. Fair
okay.
enough. Uncanny howl. Okay, that's an interesting idea. I like
Mhm.
that.
Yep.
So
I like
how
I
do we?
am Tiger Pop Star. Hear me roar.
Right, of course, right? So maybe there's also some in addition to sort of just changing moods or getting people excited or whatever, she can
Mhm.
also sort of force a reaction out of people, like
Yep.
scare them or
Potentially.
yeah,
Potentially.
okay.
Yep.
So once
People are
again,
mentioning that we do have several cat girl pop stars in Earth Prime already.
Oh,
we
do we
do.
really? Oh,
Well,
what sort of
at least
band?
sort of like.
Yeah.
Okay, who are
Um,
we talking about?
well, folks have mentioned Faster Pussycat, who is a pop star, and although she has sort of a cat theme, she is not actually a cat girl, in the sense that she isn't like a feline humanoid.
She's a human
Um,
with a headband.
yes, I was going to say she wears a costume, but
Okay.
and there's Miss Kitty from the Next Gen and Hero High, who
Ah,
does have cat-like powers, but she's not a pop star, in spite of the fact that she is super cute.
got it. I wonder, is there enough of these you know
Hmm.
tiger ladies that we could create a sort of Charlie's Tigers Angels?
Then you could create a whole pack of them, and that would be problematic, to say the least.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Kingstar says we're assuming it's a feline. The purple tiger is a species of moth.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I think we're pretty much settling into that. She's a furry cat girl.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, yeah. Here's a clarification from Messy Pilot. Doesn't wear
Hmm.
clothes. Think of Cheetah from DC. Sure, sure.
Right, has the modesty fur. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And so, okay. Well, I mean,
Does
let's
wear a headset microphone though,
Right, of course.
Britney Spears style.
nice. Nate, get with the program. I'm just kidding. He's talking about how our
We're
ostrich.
still on the very armed ostrich.
That's right. I'm imagining it has. Yeah, yeah. So he's talking about a bandolier of
Hmm.
okay, excellent, Nate. We will make a note of that.
So
For
Troy,
yes,
the thing we need to talk about as far as our pop star tigress goes,
yes,
though, is with all characters, hero or villain, that you're creating for your M&M game, is what's she for?
yeah,
Is she there just to be a interesting background character who is going to provide the heroes with an important clue or help them along in some way in the plot? Is she a potential victim who is a target of the main villain in the adventure? Is she somebody that the heroes have to protect, but she's both spoiled and has superpowers and is really hard for the heroes to contain and deal with?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, her role is going to dictate a lot about who she's going to be as a character and what kind of traits we want to give her in game terms.
Hear me out. One of the things that I love about the opportunities that you have to tell a story of me and some masterminds is really doing that. What the what? Like she's a what? But what if
Hmm.
she's like some kind of spy in plain sight?
Sure.
Hmm.
The hobnobbing with the rich and the famous, and from that angle, being
Yep.
a kind of uh, interfacing with people with a lot of money that
Hmm.
oftentimes are not doing the best of things with that money, and
Yep.
that's her
Yep.
cover as being the pop star.
Sure. Well, in that instance, I would be like either she is a advanced scout or spy
Mhm.
for a civilization of cat people,
Oh,
or even if we want to go far enough, she is in fact the queen of the civilization of cat people, and part of their warrior ethos is that they are going to be looking for suitable um, opponents in the world for the territories that they are going to conquer. And this is her way of finding out about just how soft and easily conquered humanity is.
Yeah.
And humans had best get used to worshiping her anyway, because soon she is going to rule them all.
Oh, see, I like the sound of that. Pook mentions this
I
as
kind of
well.
like a different take on it, where
Okay.
maybe
Yeah.
she's next in line to the throne, and she's
Ooh, even
left
better.
because she doesn't want to be part of that whole thing, and
Sure.
she's trying to avoid her responsibility.
But that's what
But-
happens when folks come to bring her home.
Yeah. Maybe they're looking for her. Maybe so. One of the things that's interesting, Pook mentioned she's actually an alien from a feline world or dimension. Yeah, yeah,
Sure. Other world, other dimension, hidden city, whatever you like, as
Yeah.
far as that goes. Secret Valley of the Tiger People.
right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. I really like that a lot. That whole notion of the kid that refuses their lineage and is then
Mhm.
goes out and makes a life for themselves, and then finds themselves protecting the thing that if we're going with a hero,
Yeah.
at
Princess
least an ally
Brownie.
of the heroes, since she seems to be
Yep.
in an NPC role.
Yep. And now we can play around with the idea that the somewhat, especially if we want to go all Lion King on it, the somewhat sinister, bad guy who does have designs on the throne that she
Oh,
has
yeah.
put behind, is now going to try and set things up so she is kidnapped by humans or threatened by humans to provide a pretext for the cat people to go to war. Even though the king and queen of the cat people are peaceful sorts and they normally wouldn't, do something like that. But if their daughter is threatened, they have no choice. They have to do as their advisor suggests.
Well, that also suggests that there are variations of the kinds of people that are looking for her.
Yes.
The court, and then also whoever this bad guy is, that wants to foment this war.
Yep. Yeah, there's definitely catnapping opportunities in terms of puns all over the place.
Absolutely. I wrote catnapping. What am I doing?
Right.
Let's see. This is good stuff. And her aunt is evil and seeking to kill the royal family to become the queen. Maybe that's
Sure.
the big reveal.
Yep.
For her background. Okay, I like that. Now, is she surrounded by people people who?
Well, she's a pop star, of course she is.
Yeah,
She's got the whole crew.
She's got a whole entourage. She's got
Yeah.
fans.
I like that.
You know.
The thing I keep thinking about there being sort of when she left. Oftentimes I think that I watched a really great animated story about a royal family that escaped and they landed on Earth and they kind of have some technology that cloaks themselves, but they have a part of the royal entourage is there, sworn to protect them.
Sure.
So maybe she's got something like that as well.
Yeah,
sort of
she might. I mean, she may have a bodyguard or a trusted confidant who is another one of her people.
Yeah.
And they may be in disguise, so that initially people don't know. As far as that goes, she's presumably either playing up the fact that her cat persona is just, a costume she performs in, or she, claims to be a mutant or a super of some kind, but nobody knows that she comes from a whole species of people.
I like that. Now, SC Pilot, I got to tell you, my friend, once you drop the idea in chat, it mutates and changes. You get to be the provider of the sort of the material.
Sure.
I'm trying to find a way to say this. It does not sound gross. But
The idea will evolve because it is a
it will
living
evolve.
discussion.
Thank you so much.
But I mean, the idea that she's a
Lifetime
fun-loving, heroic tiger woman who wants to experience human pop culture and make
that's
friends
great.
with
Yeah, yeah.
humans.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Not
totally.
not a bad idea.
The trick is to build conflict around that.
Yeah.
Because that character concept is great, and she sounds like a lot of fun and be a great person to be friends with. But that does not an adventure in itself make.
Very true. Very true. So, anything else that we need to flesh this? Because right now we've got not very much time left, and we have an emu and a tiger lady.
Yep.
Hey, sometimes that's just that's all you need.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Why don't we put Tigress Pop Star, who I believe that Devious wanted to call Kitty Meow Meow Little Cutie or something, and do one
Kitty
more.
Purry.
All right, so Kitty Purry, yeah, that's exactly it. I love it. All right, so chat, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Wipe all vision of ostrich or emu, cat or lady. Not lady. I mean, we can have another lady. That's fine. And let's talk about a new suggestion. Thank you, SC Pilot. We've got it. That's it. She's also puzzled by orientation and identity. It's great. I love it. So think about, some. Let's go deep into your psyche and think. I mean, I don't want you to bring out anything,
Is
and share
everybody
it. But
roboting
think
or
of
just me?
Am I roboting? I think it might be you.
I'm afraid it's just you, Alex.
You did get a little pixelated there for a minute. I don't think Alex can hear
But you
me.
seem okay now.
We'll wait for Alex to sync back up with
That's
us.
good.
But
I can hear you if you can hear me.
okay, so Apuk is talking about. I'm going back to my. You're a real boy. Can you hear us? He'll be back. He'll join us. I do love this. It always generally follows a beat. Excellent. I'm glad that you can. I think you're hearing us a little later. But we've got another pitch for the archaeologist, the shady for-profit archaeologist who finds something magical.
Sure.
And we've got Moon Man, who can influence the tides. And we've got a centaur inventor who creates a power armor suit.
Mm-hmm. Well, we do have a part robotic centaur inventor in Atlas of Earth Prime already. So,
okay. All right. So that a very
Dr.
old
Chiron.
A very old construct powered by ancient magics.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we can combine our very old construct powered by ancient magic and our archaeologist who finds something magical.
It seems like a perfect fit.
Right? So our for-profit archaeologist essentially finds a ancient magical mecca, animate statue of some sort that can be either controlled remotely or piloted, or possibly both. And we can build a sort of combined character out of that. It depends on whether or not our archaeologist is a hero or a villain, but the for-profit thing suggests at least a somewhat greedy, villainous bent.
Loving butter, David Bullock. What?
I think that was supposed to be living butter, but
that doesn't help clarify any of this. But
right, no, it doesn't.
Okay, so ancient power armor permanently fused to the character.
Yeah, that's one approach.
Okay.
I tend to lean on the notion of the archaeologist and the construct potentially being separate, so that although the archaeologist could sort of pilot the construct, that they also can sort of remotely have it do things. They have some sort of talisman or remote control or something or other that gives them control over it, such that they could also basically be having the construct do things that they benefit from, while not at least immediately giving away the fact that they're the one controlling it.
I'm sorry.
But we're not getting away from the living butter thing, are we? It is just consuming the chat.
I'm crying.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Yes, but it is.
Holy living love butter, Batman. Paparazzi or the Papa? No.
Again, Troy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
In here first.
Thank you. What is telepresence? Telepresence is the power.
Telepresence is the ability to control things remotely or communicate remotely.
Got it. Let's see. Paul mentions, yeah, like Claude's suggestion.
Yeah, I think that's a fun potential. Is that the construct was intended to ultimately for good, to be a defender, to be a protector, but their power is being misused. That's a great opportunity for the bad guy to get their comeuppance at the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, agreed. I like that.
I love when a villain unleashes a power they can't control, but they think it's going to be okay.
Right, but it's all going to break their way.
That's right. That's right. They'll be able to control it. They
Yeah,
have power,
absolutely, because they're smarter than everyone.
right? Smarter and stronger. Gosh darn it, people like them.
Yep. But it could be, for example, and to use this notion that the construct is associated with a cultural defense, if the construct is going around breaking into museums and galleries and stealing cultural artifacts associated with that culture, initially there's a certain sympathy there of, oh, this construct is reclaiming all of the artifacts of its culture, um, as far as that goes. But unfortunately, it's stealing them all for the archaeologist,
I like that.
against its will, essentially. It's something that, yes, it does want to reclaim these things, but it doesn't want to go turn them over to this guy.
I like that a lot. What a twist! Because what you would initially see as a big threat, you're just going to duke it out with them. Then you find this information out. It really changes add some nuance to the whole Lady Gragra. What are you talking about? Lady Gragra? Are we back on the love butter?
I think Nate might be a few steps behind us in time.
It's possible. It's possible. I'm not sure we ever left.
No, I agree. The construct is Cynthians, but they have to brain swap. Does that make sense to you guys?
I'm not sure what David means by Cynthians in this particular context, but I think Paul raises a good point of,
Yeah.
then the next thing to consider is what is the sort of cultural style of the construct, so far as that goes. There are tons of possibilities as far as you can pick pretty much your favorite ancient culture.
I want a big Easter Island statue.
Yeah, right. I think that'd be
Thought
fun.
it was a head, but there's a whole little body.
There's a whole
underneath the head
body
that
with
carries
it.
around.
Yeah,
Not a regular, not a full size body. There's a little body that it walks around with.
Yeah, isn't that the case for real though? Aren't they? There's bodies under them heads on Easter Island.
I think so. I think they're proportionate though.
You just want
I want it to be sort
large.
of built like a bobblehead.
Alex wants the right to be like fun, giant stone Funko Pop.
Right. That's right. Great merch ideas. Also, so now does this thing hover?
Primary attack is head buddy.
Right. I mean, that's of course the great thing is when we get into traits, it can have any traits we want. The construct could be able to fly. It could teleport. It could burrow through the earth.
Interesting. Yeah.
Or just simply sort of meld through the earth. It just sinks into the ground and disappears, which is really just a special effect of teleporting.
Right.
Limited head can't pass the surface.
Right.
Right. Also, King Snarf, leave it to me to go back 30 years in time and bring up a vaguely funny bit from was it Saturday Night Live?
Mm-hmm.
I do that just for you, King Snarf. Glad you caught that. Professor Solomon King, what are you? I don't even know what he's saying now. I never did, but yeah, Love Butter does sound like a fantastic funk album.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Love a good burrower. I do like that idea of this sort of stone head from some I guess undeclared culture burrowing around and being able to.
Well, it does lend a particular escape clause for the villain, at least initially. So during the first few encounters, after a while, win or lose, the villain just bloop, disappears into the ground, and there's not much the heroes can do to stop it.
I like
hopefully, as the adventure progresses, they come up with a plan about how it is they're going to trap the villain, and have a chance at it. And likewise, it becomes about then predicting the pattern of what is the villain's next target and how can we get a step ahead.
Do we think that the burrowing ability is about kind of like a supersonic vibratory kind of thing, like, sort of creating, because when there's an earthquake, the
Mhm.
ground kind of almost
Liquefies.
liquefies. Yeah,
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 it could be.
very interesting.
It could be.
The other thing I like about this construct is that it ticks the box of we need a little guy for the players to adopt when the villain is stopped.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah,
Because after they defeat the real bad guy, then they can become friends with our giant stone head.
I like that. Yeah, I do.
And of course, for a twist, if the game master wants, the somewhat unscrupulous archaeologist can be somebody who is involved with one of the first targets that the construct goes after, and can be somebody who decides to help out the heroes, by offering
Ah,
all sorts of helpful advice in order to basically get inside information about what they know and try and
oh, I
stay a
like
step
that.
ahead of them.
Posing as I know about this, or I have
Right.
some,
Right.
yeah.
Of course, I'm an expert on this culture, and I can help you figure this out.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Um, oh, that's very interesting. I like this as a twist as well. That looking for museums, looking for stuff in museums is one
Mm,
thing, but there being a big underground auction of stolen
yeah.
artifacts, then you start making the other villains mad.
That's a fun twist, Michael, and that's a great opportunity, especially if it is like this black market auction, to bring in a whole bunch of other like non-attached supervillains into the scenario, of other bad guys who just happen to be at this auction because they're bidding on these artifacts, and now the heroes are like in it. Like, oh
Right.
no, we've like crashed this party full of bad guys.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And then that also puts the archaeologist on the outs with the bad guys because he's attracted hero attention.
Right.
I like that a whole lot. Getting something of a kaiju tokusatsu vibe from the construct idea.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's quite giant enough to be a kaiju, but it could be. I like to think that it fits sort of into buildings, at least the big
Yeah.
buildings.
And now the heroes have to defend the bad guys. Yeah, I
Yep.
mean something along that. Yeah, I really like that.
I really want him to be one of those big guys in Mario, the ones that look like a wall with an angry face on them.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
They're
I
like,
don't got it.
oh, and they fall down. I'm trying to
Right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did. Yeah. I don't. They're probably called
Mario wall guys. Womps. They're
Mar-
called womps.
womps.
There you go.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. Incan Ultraman. Is Ultraman one of the
Sure.
bad guys, or are they the robot people from Doctor Who?
No, those are the Cybermen. Ultraman
Cybermen.
is a Japanese. It's not an anime. It's not the proper term, but
Got it. Oh,
Sentai, type of thing.
Thwomp with a TH.
The thwomps are the ones that don't have arms and legs. The womps have arms and legs.
Oh,
There you go, Doc Void. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
wow.
I do believe that Nate is well behind us. He is trailing. He is in a different time zone. A different. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Lovely thought, Nate. Thank you for sharing that.
Yep. Little
Ultraman is
Voltron action. No, Ultraman is not a bad guy. Ultraman's a hero.
Tokusatsu. Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
All right.
Gesundheit.
Well, thank you. As someone who does on the regular a sumo show, I am horrible at pronouncing Japanese words. It is really, it's become a thing. It hasn't become an international incident yet. All right, so we do have about 6 minutes, I think, that we owe. But yeah, so here's one thing I love about this. It is fun just to hang out and talk with chat and their wild ideas, which is a blast. We've got some, some ideas that we can, maybe flesh out and have some fun with at another time. Maybe they'll pop up
Mhm.
in some regard. But yeah, I mean, I think we're rounding out the remainder of the program, and why don't we do this, Alex? What's going on in your world?
Lots of Valiant stuff. Getting
Got
Indeed.
things finalized, getting things sent off to layout, getting things back from layout. We'll have a pretty cool update in regards to pretty soon. So keep an eye out on this space for that.
Awesome.
Indeed.
So lots of things cooking in the background. Steve Kenson, what's going on in the Steve Kenson cinematic universe?
Likewise, it is a valiant week, at least, for things of getting our T's crossed and our I's dotted and all of our stuff wrapped up to get Valiant into production.
Nice.
We're really looking forward to folks seeing what we've got and to having some updates for everybody.
Absolutely. I love that. And folks should know that next Monday is a holiday.
It is indeed.
That's right. And we'll be back. That brings us all the way to June. I can't believe that.
I know, right?
Yeah. And we move into Pride Month. We have lots of fun topics to discuss. It'll be a good time for sure. Oh boy, Michael, if I wish I could get into it, but just know that it affects all of us
Indeed.
in various fun and interesting, painful ways. But gentlemen, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. It was a great time kind of kicking around some of these wild ideas. And hopefully when Nate catches up to us, we'll we'll have a complete thought. But I think at this point, thanks for hanging out. We're gonna transition to what's in the tank. And thanks so much for hanging out.
Pleasure as always. Take care,
Alrighty.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Always fun.
It is fun always.
Watch out for
isn't it?
ostriches.
Yeah, exactly. Well. So that was fun, don't you think? I think. A little wild, a little goofy. But I don't expect any less. But now it's time to welcome a good friend, your good friend and mine, a man by the name of Devious Hearts. He's not really a devious guy. Hey, before I do that, actually, Devious, I think we can bring you in and not have you lock up. There we go. Hey, so you know what? We're almost out of May.
Oh no.
I know. What have you done with all my May? It's almost gone. But
I've hidden it carefully.
good. I mean, then you get to keep it at least for a year.
There you go.
Yeah,
In Tupperware, it seals in the freshness.
it's almost summertime, which
I
is
know.
super fun. And so, yeah, you can expect that we will be, let's see, today is the 19th. And yeah, so no Moo Mamo on the 26th. This is a lie. And we will be taking a break that day, but we'll be back on the following Monday. But this coming Thursday, we are doing Thursdage, and we're going to be having Ian Lemke on, talking about the Expanse Transport Union Edition, sharing some art, all kinds of good stuff.
Ooh.
And and then followed by Get Tanked with Troy. That's basically hanging out with me in the Atomic Think Tank. We have a Zoom call. It was a great meeting last week.
I agree.
It was we got quite a bit done.
It was informative, very
It
informative and
It
enlightening.
was indeed. But now, let's do this.
Let's do it.
There we go. It didn't quite do the big transition I was hoping it would do, but hi, Devious.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going so well. We brought a friend with today.
We did.
Yeah, we did. You know this guy.
Who
You know
we
this
bring?
guy. Well, it's our good friend Luke. Luke Feldman is going to join us here in just a moment. Look at this. Ta-da! Hey, Luke.
Hey, how's it going?
Going so well. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Luke,
Welcome.
folks may, welcome, first of all. And I'll tell just a quick story. there was I'm looking online and I see somebody's talking about on Reddit. They're talking about a podcast that's been going for how many episodes was it when we found you?
29, I think.
29 episodes, and you just under our radar. I don't know. The algorithm is just really falling down on the job. But I
They
was
found me.
yeah, I was so excited. And I reached out and said, "Hey, let's talk." And we've been fast friends ever since. You got to hang out with us during one of the office hours events on the calendar, which was a lot of fun. But do me a favor, tell me a bit about who you are, what you do, and why this particular audience should be paying attention.
All right. I am the GM and creator of Golden Squad, is the name of the podcast. I host a podcast, I guess, is that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's a Mutants and Masterminds.
That's important. Yeah, it's Mutants and Masterminds. And it's entirely homebrew. I wrote it myself. I actually wrote the story before I decided on the setting. So I was like, let's write a story, and then what setting fits this story, or what game type.
I love that. I'm dropping a link in chat so that folks can see. Head on over and follow you now. Are you also? Do you have places where are all the places where people can find you?
Oh, I'm on most of the social medias. I can maybe share the link tree of all the.
That'd be beautiful. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like what's Facebook and Instagram and.
I got it.
Yeah. Oh, you beat me to it. Gotcha.
Yep.
Guys are ready. I should be more ready for.
No, you're good. You're good. No. Let us help you out. I do have it as well, but I just sort of what is your kind of preferred interactive space? Is there?
I mean, I'd keep them all open all the time, but I guess maybe Facebook. I guess.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I like it. So now, what is the release schedule for the Golden Squad?
Right now, I'm able to put one out every 2 weeks. Editing is just killing me, but every 2 weeks. I've been consistent for over a year now, every 2 weeks. And that might increase soon.
Really?
I might up the frequency a little bit.
Okay, so now you've got a lot of stuff in the can, and you're sort of dealing the story out in kind of parceling it out in what about hour long?
They're more than that. They're about an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
I
Gotcha.
think my average is 1 hour 40 minutes.
Got it. And now tell us a little bit about the world, about the cast and the characters.
Yeah. The world. I think I was watching The Boys a lot, so I modeled my world a lot after The Boys.
Oh, sure.
I think I was like, I don't want to have to explain this entire new world to everybody all the time. I'll explain it more in a minute, but
yeah,
the world, I just said, it's exactly the same up till 1975. Exactly the same. That you don't have to alternative histories. Don't worry about that. Exactly the same.
Got it. Yeah.
Oh, shucks, devious.
Yeah. People will riz you up here in this chat for sure. Okay, gotcha. And now the cast tell me a bit about who we're working with.
Yeah, so I have. I mean, it shifts a little bit, but my initial 4, we have 2 of the people. Part of the reason why it was never a video in the beginning was because they're like, don't tell people who we are. So I'm like, all right, you're just your character is you now. Gotcha.
Got it.
So
Yeah.
2 of them were Edward and Theodosia, the mystery unnamed players.
Gotcha.
Theodosia, when we were designing powers, I was like, what do you guys want? And Theodosia gave me the weirdest list of powers I could think. She gave me when she sneezes, she teleports. I was like, how do I? You carry pepper, and you're like, gotta get out of here.
Luke, we just had a full hour of that nonsense.
Yeah.
So I feel your pain.
Yeah. So what I ended up doing, actually, maybe I don't know if this is standard GM. I was new to this, so I was like, this is actually my first time GMing, so
nice,
all new to me. But
way to take a big bite. Yeah.
The what I ended up doing was I said, what kind of powers do you guys want? and they gave me a list of like 3 or 4 things that they like, and I kind of combined them together with things that I thought fit well, and they got to have like the first arc was kind of like a discovery arc where they're like, well, I don't know what I do yet, so let me
Yeah.
I feel like you get that like Spider-Man feel where he's like, what can I have to, how do I shoot the webs?
Yeah, Luke, that's exactly my vibe on it. As I've been listening, the kind of discovering or coming across the manifestation of their powers. It's really fun to. It's been really a great listen.
So yeah, Theodosia, she has what she ended up getting was like fire bubbles. It's basically like create Molotov cocktails, I guess is a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
Edward can control books, so he's got bibliokinesis.
Okay, now does sorry, bibliokinesis. That's a good one.
That's what we came up with. Yeah.
So
Hey,
only
if you get a War and Peace chucked at you with your head, that can hurt.
I think we have actually said that was chucked, and we named a guy after the person that it hit. We named him the name of the author. I can't remember his name. The Russian guy.
Tolstoy.
Yeah, Tolstoy. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's seen the Blue Rose source book, but those things are massive. You could really do some damage with even some Mutants and Masterminds books. Like, yeah. Nothing to sneeze at. Okay, so I love that. I love that. Now, is there how many people are in the cast?
5. We lost a cast member after the second arc, so we replaced them.
Got it. Yeah. And that's the way some of these go. I mean, even like campaigns that you run around the table, sometimes people got to go and transition out and transition in. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And okay, that's great. And now, oh my goodness, Claude says reminds me of lactokinesis.
That I love that. That's one of my favorite villains of all time. That dude was he
could the power over milk?
Yes, he was the best villain.
I think of one of the funniest powers I've ever seen also was apple kinesis. It was a character named Granny Smith.
Oh boy. I love it. All right. Okay.
But Claude, but before we go much further, Claude also paid him a compliment. He said it was really fun and creative way to start it out. I'm still early days in my listening, but I think you're doing a great job. So kudos from Claude.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Well worth a listen and support. So, here's the challenge for you, chat. It's not a challenge because all of you do this anyway, but head over to the links that we shared, follow all their social medias, engage with the podcast, share ideas, and then also just connect and be the amazing community that you are.
I'll say hi.
Yeah. And Luke, Luke, I apologize in advance. People just will really do that.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, excellent.
I think one of the things I want to call out, there's a pretty large delay between what I'm releasing. Like what I'm releasing is probably 10 months old at this point. So we're like,
okay.
There's a big delay between what we recorded and what we've published. And because the reason that happened was in the beginning, I took on way more than I could handle, first of all. So I had 28 episodes or something of content, and I squeezed it all down into 4 episodes. And part of the reason why I did that was because I told the story differently. So the first 4, I think the first 4 episodes, every session, every time you hear me talk and I'm talking to like a player, it's one-on-one every single time. So the stories interact with each other though. And I recorded it one after the other, not like let me change rooms real quick. They never heard what the other ones were doing. The stories are interacting with each other. So I'm like really trying to you better go this way because the other person that's what the other person tells you to do. So it was really hard to GM that way, but it worked out really well.
I will say that I think is what's lending it such a good listen. Is that there's a freshness and that it's and I like that you're playing right. Yeah, Claude brings up the classic GM taking on too much.
It is. Yeah.
But what an interesting idea. One of the things too that I don't know if you'd be amenable to this, but I would love to hear or understand sort of how you wove that narrative together and sort of the practical stuff, and maybe we can, save that for another program or maybe even an article in the think tank or something. But I think that would be a fascinating, one of the things that I know about Mutants Masterminds folks is that they really do go all in. whether it's their hero that they're developing and their sneezing powers and their, like, I mean, it's just, it is, whether it's, just kind of a bit or whether they're really, putting together a mammoth structure to support a narrative design like this that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't always work.
Fair enough.
So when I was planning this, I was putting it together. The character who played Theo, she's like, I want to be an old lady. I want to be this like Nancy Drew lover, but I'm 60 years old. And I was like, all right, sure, we can write that. And I wrote this story, and I had to try to answer the question, like, why is this character 30 years older than the other characters, but she's not 30 years better? Like, why she's still evolving her power after so long? Like, how can I explain that?
Yeah.
And what I wrote, I was like, okay, well, maybe instead of like developing her power, maybe she got hit with some kind of like mind alter power or something, and she's like relearning to tie her shoes, kind of thing. She's like redeveloping. She hated it. She's like, I don't want to be a 60-year-old in a 30-year-old body or whatever, or the other way around.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, let's go back and maybe we'll figure something else out.
Gotcha. Well, that's an interesting kind of idea. And now, it sounds like you're pretty hands-on in the helping of the development of the characters. Yeah, I like that. So did you do more of a casting for characters, or did you how did you go about that process?
No, actually, I know all of the players in person. I met them all.
Gotcha.
Friends of yours already.
Yeah.
Cool.
People I knew who were interested in, they mostly friends from like D&D stuff, and they're like, hey, want to try superheroes? Let's do that.
Got it. Okay, that's great. So you just kind of, and then you let them figure out kind of what their characters were, and working with them to sort of weave it into the storyline to kind of make it blend well.
Yeah. So like the intro arc, it was a little bit of like, we're telling the character together. So I'm telling you what your powers are, but you're telling me what your backstory is. So like we sometimes like, it was a little bit on rails because I was like, you guys have to meet up at some point. So I'm like, I'm pushing you towards that.
Of course.
But like for the most part, like from when you get your powers to when you meet, like tell me what happens.
Very cool. That's I really like that. And that is sort of the GM's kind of there to kind of show you where the rails are, and one way or the other get you going down the story path. Awesome. All right. So did we already talk about the frequency? You release? Yeah. So folks, if they're hankering for the next episode, those will come out every
Mondays,
nice.
Monday morning. Yeah.
And the next one next Monday, the 26th.
Yes, next Monday.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome. So in the mornings, and so it's kind of, I'm imagining that dependent upon how well that it is done, or that it's not like it happens at 9 a.m. right?
It does happen at 9 a.m.
All right.
For Pacific. Yeah.
Pacific time. That's great. Well, fantastic. Luke, anything else you would like folks to know about what it is that you do? And you're welcome to hang out while we do What's in the Tank.
I'll chill here. I just want to hear from people. I'm missing out on the community. I wish I would have met you guys sooner.
Well, and it's never late. You arrive just when you're meant to arrive, and now you're here, and we are. And we're getting it done. So I appreciate that. And I would love to meet the cast and have them introduced as well. And we've got some plans coming up in the future where we want to kind of do some crossover fun podcasts and get you both in a room and Thunderdome, have a big fight and see who comes out victorious.
2 men enter, 1 man leave.
RC, you hear that?
RC is intimidating. I don't know if I want to take on him.
He's a sweetheart. He's a sweet guy. But
look out for the bow tie. He can throw it like a ninja.
Sharp.
Scary.
Into the wall.
It's scary. Yeah.
Warple bow tie.
So now we come to the part of our program. Thank you, Luke, as well for hanging out. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Devious, it's What's in the Tank. Do please begin telling us what is in the tank.
Well, what's going on in the tank this week? We have May 19th, 2025, a number of articles. One is, it came from Reddit, speaking of RC, who basically developed the idea, and I went to go take it and ran with it. We discussed the wide array from the was it Gadget Guides, I think. I think, yeah, it was the Utility Belt and Gadget Guides,
Okay.
and discussed that. We also had an article, and I would like to thank David Bullock for introducing me to my new favorite toy, which basically helps you create mutants and masterminds layouts
Yeah.
already ready to go. You just got to basically input it in a certain way over on the
Already
left.
ready.
Look at all this, just all statted out, looking like a document from Mutants and Masterminds. It's amazing. Like I said, it's in the tank right now. Lightweight layout for your Mutants and Masterminds projects. He's got everything from the characters being able to be statted out to the documentation itself. I'm working with him right now when we're implementing different borders that can be shown at the top and the header and the footer and the actual main headers themselves.
Yeah.
So
It's
definitely,
gorgeous.
oh yeah, check that out. Definitely worth a check out.
David,
Especially, Mhm.
oh, I was just gonna say, David, thank you for putting that stuff together. I mean, that's just really phenomenal. It's great. And just as a quick aside, Kate the Great mentions all the M&M shows shall fight each other for dominance. I'm envisioning sort of that Ron Burgundy, where all the news anchors from all the different CNN and they all get together in the park and have a fight.
I want to be co-announcer with you at that fight, Troy. I think
Yes,
that would
yeah,
be,
exactly.
we're going to Ron Burgundy the heck out of that.
I just want to say Claude killed a guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's great. Awesome.
with
All
his
right.
bare toes.
Ew.
But
Do go on.
we also have from Adrian Lorenzo the First Centurion Awards
I
Heroes
saw
Gala.
that.
Yeah, it's like the Met Gala or like the Oscars, but basically it's a way to celebrate the young heroes, but it's also a really good excuse to have a villain attack because hey, all the heroes are there. Why not? So definitely worth a great check out. And finally, I put a little thing in there. What's your favorite joke, power, or character? My example I gave was my milkshake, affliction, first level fascinate, second compelled, third
Jeez.
controlled, limit, only works on boys, limit, one command, come to the yard. Damn right it's better than yours. Damn right.
Yeah. Yeah, but
So
you'd have to
I could
charge
teach you.
if you're going to
I
teach
could
it.
teach you, but I
Yeah.
would have to charge.
You should. You should.
I should.
Milkshake work is work.
It is absolutely. Torque it, girl. Anyway, new in the Aegis files, we have a number of items, including we've got let's see, 3 from Chris Davies, 1 from Simon Wentworth out of nowhere. He plugged one in there. Sugimoto mojito, and I like my mojitos with a little extra mint.
Okay.
But
All right.
the one I wanted to bring attention to were the public domain heroes that Matt Mabray is doing. Fantastic. I mean, great work. I love the blast from the past. He's got Spectro, Kitten, who I believe is Catman's sidekick. She's like PL6. She's like an acrobat who can dodge and get into mischief. 6-gun gorilla. I just 1 second. Let me just. There he is.
Hey, look at. I like the look of that guy.
O'Neill was an infant gorilla who had been taken from Africa and brought to the United States. There he was taken by a kindly prospector named Bart Masters, who taught O'Neill frontier ways, most notably how to handle a revolver.
Indeed.
Oh, it's a tale indeed of revenge and just heartbreak. It's definitely worth a read.
Come for the what's in the tank and stick around for the theater. That's what I like.
That's right. It's the drama that keeps me.
It is.
It was the mystery episode from Memo. I didn't know what was going on, but you let me know. And thank Devin chat. Tonight, after Memo, around about 5:30 on Pacific time, 8:30 Eastern, we have RC with House Van Helsing. Through the fire and flames, Ignite is caught in a hostile territory and searches for how to
Wait,
connect.
the fire and the flames?
The fire and the flames, both.
It's a rager.
It was just a fire at first, but then the flames came along, made a complete set.
Barn burner, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly, right, Luke? I mean, it's a mess.
Absolutely.
Hey, look at these.
Look at these. Coming up this Wednesday, the 21st, Superhero Shenanigans. That would be the incredible Claude and the lovely Kate the Great, putting on a wonderful show that you should definitely come and check out.
Yeah,
all the links are there for you. Scrolling down, we have, look at that pretty face. It's Claude.
Cloud.
But yes, and now he was doing on Tuesdays, and I was jokingly call it Mamatu, but now it's Mamathu because it's now Thursdays, right previous to Thursday. He does his thing, and what he's going to do is he's going to basically go over what happened in Mumamo and try to basically duplicate that and like talk about his thoughts on the episode, things like that.
I don't know how much duplication you want to do. I'm just saying. I mean, there's only so much non sequitur Nate a podcast ecosystem can handle.
I don't know about that. More than Nate, the better. It's like Vienna
Agreed.
sausages. Sure,
Moo
you want
Matthew.
more. But anyway, I think he's going to do basically Dev versus Chat. I'm hoping anyway that he'll get in there and he'll take some suggestions, and we'll see if we can throw.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Afterwards, we've got office hours. Looking forward to that as well. And of course, Monday, Golden Squad.
Nice.
All there in the tank for you to check out, y'all.
That's right. So make sure, for Golden Squad, you want to jump over to the. I've been listening to it on Spotify. I think it's fantastic. The production value is solid, my friend. Really well done, Luke. Very well done. Devious. To
Yes,
you
sir.
as well, my friend. That was a fantastic rendition of what's in the box, and the box is full. There's plenty of stuff in the box. Now,
Oh yes,
there are some events coming to the think tank. I said what's in the box, and I meant what's in the tank. What is in the box? But now we know. Friends, thank you, chat, for hanging out, for all of your engagement and all your support of not just what we do here as a Green Ronin enterprise, but what the community does.
Thanks to Luke. I mean, thanks so much for coming in. Tell us about the program. I'm really looking forward to catching up on those episodes. Luke.
That's right. Absolutely. A pleasure, sir. And we're looking forward we'll have you back again. And now that you're in it, you can't escape it.
Yeah, I think we got about 52 recorded, so we got another year's worth of content coming out.
Right on. All right. Well, that is a lot of fun, and we have some. We are planning some cross pollinating fun events that we're really looking forward to, and we will talk more about that in the future. Again, chat.
The
Yes.
Thunderdome fight to the death thing. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's happening for sure. RC is already sharpening his bow tie. That's right. Bring it. Okay, everybody. Listen, another Mumamo on the books. I think it was a good one. I feel good. I feel good about it. I feel good about everybody.
Another Mumamo in the tank, you might say.
I think I might. But for now, it is, it's time to go. And you know what that means? Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good rest of your week, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, Luke. You were awesome.